I guess so. එනම් අපි අද ස්පීච් එකක් තිබ්බා National IT Conference එකේ day 1 කොළඹ. මේක ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කරේ අපේ සිංහල audience එකට මේ ස්පීච් එක සමහරලාට අපි සිංහල උපසිරසි සහිතව දාන්න හිතන් ඉන්නවා. අපේ ටීම් එක කරයි. so අපේ බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ මෙතන industry leaders ලා විශාල ප්‍රමාණයක් ආවා. IT වලින් digital roadmap එකක් තියෙනවා $15 billion. ඒකට අපි මොකක්ද තියෙන්න ඕන මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක මානසිකත්වය right psychology එක. ඒකට අපිට ශ්‍රී ලංකාවට ආවිනික වූ ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා. ඒ ප්‍රශ්න කොහොමද අපි මුලින්ම ඒවා මොනවද කියලා අඳුර ගන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් මේ පැය භාගයක් වගේ සුළු කාලයක් හම්බුනේ ඒ වෙලාවේ කතාව කළා. අපි මේක එළියට දානවා පබ්ලික් එකට. එතකොට ලංකා පුරා ඉන්නවා ගොඩාක් දක්ෂ අය මේක අහලා මේකෙන් වෙන විදිහට හිතන්න වැඩ කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. right so මමයි ඉන්දී මේ මගේ wife first time ඔයගොල්ලෝ දකින්නේ ආවා මේ program එකට so that's it එහෙනම් අපි speech එක බලමු.
In probably in 15 years we can switch this game and say look once upon a time we grew up in a country that we always receiving AIDS. Now look how we are. Look at us. We are aid donors. That's a Sri Lanka that I'd like to die one day. You want to support that? Are you with me? Yes, come on.
Our next speaker is Mr. Ramindu Randeni, business and corporate leadership coach. Ramindu Randeni received coaching from Tony Robbins and several other spiritual teachers. He has successfully coached top-tier leaders to excel even in the most challenging times in the country, assisting them in closing million-dollar deals. Additionally, he has helped numerous professional cricketers rebound from their lowest points to achieve their peak performance. Of course, quite the relative in present day context. Coaching leaders and sales professionals as well as conducting peak performance workshops are his areas of expertise. Ramindu, over to you. Thank you.
Can you all hear me? Great, brilliant. I only have half an hour. Usually my sessions go for 10-15 hours at a stretch. So it's a very, very quick run, quick burst. So I'm going to give you as much insights and value as much as possible I can. So I'm not going to explain who I am. So once again, we have about 5 minutes to 12. So good morning. Let's try that again. And you see the spirit, the energy, that you're going to bring $15 billion in 7 years. Let's give a $15 billion good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Much better. Thank you. So $55 billion, let me just come down. Do you know what the number is? Actually, the number differs depending on the accountant that I speak to. It's pretty much our national debt. They say 47, they say 50, 55, I just rounded up to 55 billion. So we say that we are minus $55 billion. So I thought, you know what, we'll develop a $55 billion mindset so we can just offset that in no time. And I'm going to share, this is not just a fancy speech, I've done that for so many corporates. Some of the reviews are out there, you can Google up and find out how we turn things around during the toughest time. Brought companies from almost bankruptcy to 128% growth in a matter of 6 months. These are not the magic, there is a methodology. There's a methodology to come out of your darkness. There's a methodology to break these barriers. We don't have to do guesswork, that's the way. So, to do that, we need to understand this. We cannot solve problems by using the same kind of thinking that we used to create them. So that's very, very important to understand. So, for that, we need to associate epistemic humility. This is a phenomena that I actually really incorporated. My coach inculcated that in me, and I live and govern my life with that. Epistemic humility is the understanding that no matter what knowledge we have is incomplete. Now I know this room is full of experts, full of specialists. And you've done incredibly well in your life to come this far under tremendous difficulties, right? I understand. I'm Sri Lankan. and coming from the same grounds. I understand you've done so much amazing studies and sacrifice to come this far. But, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to understand that no matter what we have, whatever the accolades we have, whatever the titles we have, that we need to have this humility, we need to have this humbleness, that whatever the knowledge we have is incomplete. This is not a disempowering statement. This is an empowering statement. Let me explain. If we keep on thinking that, hang on a second, the way we're going about things and what we know is actually incomplete. There's something missing. You know, the Silicon Valley is saying this, and there's AI technology, and there's this, and there's that. There's something else out there that I don't know, that we don't know. Let's figure that out. By thinking and incorporating that kind of a thinking alone, we probably can set off our national debt. This is such an empowering thinking. For you, very intelligent people in this room, if you incorporate that to yourself first, and then to your teams, and if you keep on telling them, look guys, there's something that we don't see here. There's a framework that we work. Let's just go out of the box and find out something that we don't know. You know, explore the uncharted territories. That's what the Brits and the Portuguese did, right? 3-4 centuries. And they landed on our shores and started controlling us. So explore the uncharted territories in the sphere of intelligence. So epistemic humility is an extremely important phenomena if we are to move forward in a very, very competitive world. See, gone are the days that there's only one group of people know that kind of a technology or innovation, right? At this moment, we're thinking of doing some app. Guess what? There are 10,000 people across the world thinking about the same app. So we have to be a lot better than them. We have to outsmart them. We have to outplay them. We're in a different era that we are living in, so we need to incorporate that first. And that's why we need to understand that everything in the universe is either growing or dying. You know, we think that I like to have a very interactive session, but it's going to be a long one, so I'm going to go very quickly. Who here feel that you're settled down in life? You know, and who here probably feel that I want to settle down? It's a household conversation, right? The parents say, I want my child to settle down in life. He's doing a degree, got a job, now get married, get a house, have a child, he's settled down now. Or move him to that country, now he's settled down there. That kills us as a nation. Let me prove the case without explaining further. There are stories that prove this case. Lessons from the ancient history. Egyptian civilization lasted for 3.5 millennia, 3,500 years, absolutely dominated the world. Their architecture marvels still astonishes us, wonder of the ancient world, right? And they have war strategies that still the US Marines are using them. Martial arts, apparently people say even some of the yoga has been founded there. Their medical science, the knowledge that they had astonishes us. They could preserve the body. Some of the museums, they still have those bodies preserved for thousands of years. But where's Egypt today? Are they a dominant nation in the world? They're gone. Just an average country. Next one. So the Egyptian was subjugated by another powerful civilization called the Greek civilization, which I actually come to love. I mean, think about them. Founders of democracy, founders of the parliament, incredible mathematician, founders of Olympics, physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong. I study Greek philosophy day to day. It's incredible. It's very relevant. They went on conquer all the way up to India, the Alexander at the age of 21 or 22, right? Such a powerful civilization. Where's Greece today? Next one. Sri Lanka. Once the tagline, the nickname for Sri Lanka was 1,000 years ago, was the treasury of South Asia. That's how rich we were. We have found out the Greek, Roman, Turkey coins, 1,000 years ago. So our ancestors knew how to do international business. They know how to make profit. Our guys knew our worth. Our guys were mentally advanced, physically advanced, very strong. It was difficult to conquer from neighboring nations. Spiritually, extremely advanced. That was the history of Sri Lanka. And where's Sri Lanka today? Minus 55? See, everything in the universe is either growing or dying. I recall yesterday's inauguration, Honorable Minister Kanaka said, let's not get complacent. He said that. I really value that sentence. This is what happened. Any civilization, any country, any corporate, I'll come to that in a second, think that we have arrived. I am the expert. We are great. We are superior. The next step for them is going backwards. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens very, very subtle form. That's the trick of the universe. In a way that you don't even realize it's happening. That's what happened to all these civilizations. It's a universal law, and you cannot stop that. The only way to stop that is incorporating, no, we're going to grow. Epistemic humility. Our knowledge is incomplete. We're going to find the different territories that we never found before. No settling down. It has to come from our parents, saying that, Puta, study this, but never settle down in life. Keep growing, keep growing. So there are some modern examples as well, if you think these are only ancient. Kodak, once a household name, right? $1 billion empire, such a loyal clientele. What happened? Gone. They didn't adapt, they failed to adapt to the new technology. And once a very fond household brand name, gone. Next one, Blackberry. When 2007, when iPhone came into the scene, the Blackberry mobile, the trainers, the philosophers, the consultants surrounding Blackberry said, look, you guys, you have to change now. Yes, you dominate in the market, but you have to change now. There's something called iPhone, there's a touchscreen. And the leaders of Blackberry kept on refusing, saying that, no, that's for the youth. We have the corporate. Even Barack Obama used one of the Blackberries. And we all know what happened next. And Western Union, nothing happened in Western Union, this is my observation. Had they have this growth mindset that we're going to find the uncharted territories, they could have been the PayPal. So when I checked last year, the net worth of Western Union is about 4 billion, roughly. PayPal, $65 billion. They just missed that opportunity. So that's why I say this is, see guys, the civilization, great civilization, billion-dollar empires with world dominance, gone. Just because they didn't adopt this simple philosophy called we're going to grow constantly. And that's something in the way, there's something called business ego, which I learned. So it's not your usual ego. You can be a very nice, approachable guy, but you refuse to change, refuse to adapt, refuse to grow, and this is the destiny. So now we're thinking of a digital age. The next 7 years, we're talking about bringing $15 billion within 7 years to this country. Right, which means we had to work with the rest of the world. So my day-to-day spend coaching sales forces who cross overseas. And I consistently see these are really intelligent, educated people, engineers, right, with 10, 15, 20 years experience in the industry. I constantly see this problem. That's why I want to bring this. Who are we before the world? Be honest. Ask yourself, when you say Sri Lankan, an Englishman, what comes to your mind? When you say Sri Lanka, what comes to your mind before the rest of the world? You go and pitch to these countries. Who are we? We need to define our identity before we create these platforms and technology. And that comes along with, I constantly see this issue also. How much do you worth? It's one of the questions that I ask. When someone goes to bring a sale, let's say $1 million, they travel next week to pitch. I ask, hey, hang on a second. Yes, you represent this company. But do you believe that you're worth $1 million to bring $1 million? Answers are shady. When you really directly ask these questions, they have these identity issues. It's a very distinct problem of Sri Lanka. That's why these top corporates pay me top dollar for getting the international trainers, because I have ground expertise. I know where it's coming from. I know the root cause. I never liked it. I lived a good part of my life in the UK, and I constantly see how our guys are bent threefold in front of the Brits. I never liked it in my life. I thought one day I'm going to change this. So what's your worth? We kept on accumulating qualifications. But if you value yourself low before another nationality, you'll never get that worth. You need to develop that first. Hey, hang on a second. This is how much my company worth. You need to define that first. And what's standing in our way? The scarcity identity. I grew in this society, hearing the scarcity identity. It's become our identity, actually. That's the problem. We don't have this. Other countries have this facility. We don't have this. We don't have the system. We don't have the government. We don't have the resources. We don't have the distance. We don't have the language. Not enough. We don't have it. We don't have it. The scarcity identity. We got to change that before we take up the world and talk about bringing 15 million or 55 billion or 100 million or even $1 billion. We need to eliminate this scarcity identity. Replace with abundance identity. So what we have is enough. We're going to manipulate what we have. There's something that I share with corporate leaders. I just throw it right here now. There's something called leader with preference and leader by choice. That's a very, very different mindset. Leader with preference. When I have a workforce, if you give me the budget, if you give me the assurance, then I'm a leader. I can run the country, I can run this company. It's a very poor, very subjective leadership, very, very weak, vulnerable leadership. The leader with choice, with or without my army, I'm going to lead this and I'm going to win it anyway. With or without resources, we're going to win anyway. Someone can pull this plug. We run our business with the virtual world that someone has created. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Someone can pull that plug and it's all over, right? So with or without this, we're going to bring this revenue anyway. That's the mindset that you should have inculcated as corporate leaders. I love to see. That's the Sri Lanka that I love to see. So, why this scarcity identity and how this scarcity identity is going to hamper our growth? I don't have much time, so I'm going to say it very quickly. There's something called a story. A story is also known as a silent conversation. I have enough proof and case studies and research paper to back this up. We are always telling a story. It's called silent conversation. Right now, that's ringing in your head. Right? In Sri Lankan society, we have this, chant this 108 times and spill it. Right? So we are chanting that like probably 10,008 times a day. The story. What's the story that you're telling about yourself? For instance, we have so much of adversities in our country. Man, why is happening to us? Right? The 26 years of war, the tsunami, the East attack, the Aragalaya, the economic crisis, it's all happening here. That's the one story that you can tell. The other story we can tell, all sorts of things happen. We shrug it off and we are better than any other country. And we move forward. We can wear a smile as if nothing happened. We're such a resilient nation. We're strong. That's another story that you can tell. Not only will it empower your personal life immediately, it's contagious. It goes to the next person that you're speaking to, the teams that you're governing. And when you carry the Sri Lankan name and the brands to across the world, and they will test this story. Sri Lanka is struggling, right? Crisis, right? Can we invest in this country? Then you can say, well, if you want to hang out with resilient, extremely powerful, strong people like lions, come to our shows. We'll show you how to withstand any problem. And that's the story. we can tell. So this story, if you have an empowering story, then you land on very, very empowering or powerful strategies. Story comes first, strategy comes next. If you're saying a lousy story, if you're saying a very disempowering story, even if you have someone hand you in the strategy, you're not going to execute it. You're going to come up with a story saying that why this cannot be executed. So make sure you write a powerful story. Then you land in incredible strategies. So when you're saying a disempowering story, which unfortunately we don't have a platform to inject us empowering stories. I have a lot of friends with media companies. I've done a TV series, entire TV series with a media channel as well. Back in school, I've compared, so I've lots of friends all over in media. But unfortunately, guys, our media companies don't do good interest for our country. Where's the good news? I know you want to kill me, but where's the good news? Right? So we don't have that environment. Our family, our parents, they love us. They are righteous people. They're honest people. But what do they spill from their mouth? So that has created this whole chanting in us. So we say now in Sri Lanka, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this. Get out, get out, get out. Study and get out. So it creates this something called mental scotoma. Scotoma is a problem in the vision. We have a little bit of a black dot in the vision. So you have a scotoma. The mental scotoma is you keep on telling a bad story, even if you have the opportunity, you're not going to see it. Like for instance, something like this. I take you to a beautiful field with beautiful mountain range and say, look at this. Beautiful. We can build a huge hotel. We can have a yoga ashram. We can do this and that. And you're going to come with this mental scotoma and you're going to say, nah, I don't see anything. There's no such opportunity. You can't do this. This is what happened to our country so far. But these intelligent, extremely experienced people, they've come so far, done so well, but we have a national problem when it comes to this mental scotoma and telling a very bad story about ourselves. So, I'm going to back that up with science again. There's something called reticule activating system. Have you heard of this thing called your eyes see what your mind wants you to see? It's always been a philosophical line, and now it's backed by science. This reticule activating system, the little red tube that you see here, it actually decides what you're going to see from your eyes. You're not going to notice everything right now, this moment, this room. You're seeing a lot of things, but you're actually not noticing everything. Test this when you go back home today. Think about your favorite vehicle in the favorite color for the next few days. And think about it. Think that I want to see my favorite vehicle in the favorite color in the road. And like magically, you started seeing it everywhere. Did those vehicles started appearing before you magically? No. Your mind delete and distort the rest of all the probabilities and started clearing what you have fed. That's why I said we need to have a very empowering story before we're going to land on strategy. So when all you incredible engineers, software engineers, coders, professors, all the aristocrats, all sorts of experts here, if you start telling a very powerful, empowering story, you will land on incredible strategies. Or you might even manipulate a strategy that exists somewhere else and do some wonder. So guys, just to end this, remember where we're living. Once a treasury of South Asia. We have abundance of resources. I always tell the leaders that I coach, remember that you're standing on a treasure. Remember that and start feeding that. See, the natural beauty that we have alone probably can pull about $15 billion if you really manage it properly. The opportunity of AI, incredible technological opportunity that we have, isn't it? No longer we have to be overwhelmed by the giant corporates who have a giant workforce. We simply can manipulate AI and do incredible wonders in this world right now. And our own innovations. See, if you keep on telling a very powerful story, these kind of innovations will be in 100 folds in no time. This is for those who don't know, this is Vega, the first Asian fully electric supercar to be invented by an Asian. So it's incredible things are happening already. So for that to happen, I honestly believe we can't play our game separately. Yes, when we vote, we'll vote. Yes, when you do marketing, we'll do marketing or corporates. But let's come to a common platform. I really believe in this thing called collective consciousness. That if all the intelligence, we represent so many different companies, we all get together and think about something that we can do to move this country forward, bring a 15 billion or 50 or 100 billion dollars together. Obviously, as a byproduct, your corporates, your life's going to be at an incredible level. So I really believe in collective consciousness. So we'll all get together and support and have a common platform. If we can create that, that'll be incredible. So this is the fullest potential I like to believe in Sri Lanka. South Korea, once the aid receiver, under one generation, they became a developed country, hosted an Olympic, and now an aid donor. Sri Lanka, we can tell they're probably halfway than South Africa, probably a lot better than South Korea. Probably in 15 years, we can switch this game and say, look, once upon a time, we grew up in a country that we're always receiving aids. Now look how we are. Look at us. We are aid donors. That's the Sri Lanka that I'd like to die one day. You want to support that? Are you with me? Yes? Come on. There's some hope. So once again, it's not just a fancy speech, and I'm not going to take a flight and go somewhere else. I'm here on the ground, stuck in the same traffic as you are. If I can maintain a philosophy and a mindset like that, you all can. So I'm here to support you in every step of the way. So I'm here and to swim with you if the ship is sinking, and support you in every step of the way. And thank you so much, the chairman of the Computer Society of Sri Lanka, Dr. Ajanta, and his disciple, Tilna Hallulu, is not here. And bro, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Live the spirit.